Good afternoon, Berna.
Good afternoon.
How
How are
are
you?
you?
I'm great, thank you.
Are you excited about our last session? Now we're gonna go into plan staging. How are you feeling?
I am feeling great. Yep, I'm excited about moving forward with my idea to become a resort manager. The
Okay.
homework that I did, it really gave me some great ideas. It really energized me and made me really encouraged about going forward in this field. I had a
Okay.
chance to look at three different resorts.
Okay.
Actually, I found out there's tons of resorts
Yes.
all over the place. I mean,
Okay.
there's several of them out of the country, so I sort of ruled those out because
Okay.
I don't think I want to move out of the country.
Okay.
But I did find some really great locations. There's some great coastal resorts in Maine and Rhode Island. I
Okay.
thought were really great. But the ones that I liked the most were in Hawaii. I think I would really like that opportunity.
Okay. Back. So last session,
Mhm,
you came in because you wanted to do a career change.
mhm,
You had been at your job currently for 10 years,
mhm,
and you wanted to kind of transition into being a resort manager.
mhm,
You fell in love with Disney
mhm.
Resort, and you actually don't have much background in
Right.
resort management, but you have worked in a hotel before,
Mhm,
so you have a little bit of background.
mhm,
Um, so I gave you some homework,
mhm,
and I'm glad to hear that you did look into the three resorts.
mhm,
Um, so when you was looking for the resorts, what
mhm.
did you find?
Okay. Well, I found this great, well, as I mentioned, like several of them that I really, really like.
Hmm.
I really like the two on the coast, the one in Rhode Island, the one in Maine.
Okay.
They're just beautiful
Hmm.
locations, really, really nice locations. And then I like there's two in Hawaii that I
Okay.
really like too.
Okay.
So I really do need to kind of fine tune what
Okay.
I like about each one. Because the biggest thing is just the locations that
Yeah.
I'm really loving, and as well as just all of the amenities that they both, all four of them actually offer.
Okay.
So I haven't made a list of pros and cons, but I
Okay.
do need to do that. But I was
Okay.
just so excited,
Mhm.
as just looking into them and finding out where they are, what they offer,
Mhm.
um, and I need to get a little bit more information, of course, about what I would have to do in order to become a resort manager.
Okay.
Didn't get a lot of information as yet on that, but I was having so much fun just
Okay.
researching the locations and what they offer and what I would be doing as a
Mhm.
resort manager. So.
Okay. So I'm glad you brought up location because I
Mhm.
know last session you were saying how you kind of had a little bit of anxiety about moving so far,
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I'm glad that you were able to
Mhm.
kind of search things more, in the
Right.
area.
Right.
So how did the search go for you? Like, do you
Mhm.
mind kind of giving some examples of things that you found,
Mhm.
some of the amenities that these four
Mhm.
resorts offer? Like, how were you feeling about your search?
Mhm. I was feeling really excited about them. They were really easy to find.
Mhm.
Just the locations. Matter of fact, if you Google search, you can get a list of like 25 U.S. resorts.
Mhm.
So that's sort of like what I used as my foundation, and I just sort of scrolled through them
Okay.
and looked at where they were located.
Mhm.
And because there's even a couple of them that's not very far from here, some
Okay.
of them are in Texas and South Carolina, not necessarily coastal, but as I was looking through them, I was learning that I like the ones that are a little bit more coastal,
Okay.
little that have a big part, a water feature, or
Mhm.
near the ocean, and so I was really kind of excited about those.
Okay.
So, so that's sort of how I started my search with just
Mhm.
straight Google search,
Okay.
and you can Google, the ones that are in the U.S. and then you
Mhm.
can Google world renowned
Right.
resorts. And so I did that too, and that's when I located some of the ones that are out of the country, and so I decided as, when we did talk is how much of a move I want to make and
Right.
how, much of a different type of lifestyle I want to
Mhm.
have. So I did decide that out of the country probably would be a little more than I really want to
Mhm.
do in terms of, changing my lifestyle and living outside the country, learning different language, and because there's of course a lot involved with,
Right.
any job that you would take outside of the country.
Mhm.
There's some cultural things that you have to make sure that you learn about and
Yeah.
prepare yourself for. And so I think I definitely want to stay within the states.
Okay.
So
So,
mhm,
I remember last session, you
mhm,
discussed you going down to a local hotel
mhm,
and speaking with the manager and just kind of getting a little bit of background on,
mhm,
how long it took for them to become a manager,
mhm,
with some pros and cons about being in the hospitality and
mhm,
tourism field.
mhm.
So, how did that go for you?
Well, that went pretty good in terms of I made phone calls. I didn't
Okay.
get a chance to actually go and visit any of the locations,
Mhm.
but I did get a chance to talk to some individuals in some resorts, resort managers,
Okay.
or actually a couple of the locations the resort manager wasn't available, so I
Mhm.
spoke to just a person who works with them and just sort of got some information about what it's like to be a resort manager
Okay.
and some pros and cons. And one of the biggest cons, which I'm a little bit familiar with, is
Mhm.
you are always on call. I mean, you're
Yes.
working all the time because that's just part. I mean, you live
Right.
it really. You actually live it day to day because
Mhm.
you're responsible. And resorts are places that, hey, they don't close.
They don't.
You're there 24 hours,
Mhm.
and 7 days a week. So that was one of the potential cons because
Mhm.
with anybody you get, a
Tired.
little tired.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but it's got to be something you really love. And I really, the more I'm finding out about it, the more I'm
Mhm.
learning about it, I'm just falling more and more in love with being able to do that. So
Okay.
I'm thinking that part of it might not be a con, just
Mhm.
kind of going into it. That's sort of one of the things that you think of as a potential con,
Right.
because when I was talking to, different people at the different locations, that was one of the first things that they brought up. Is
Okay.
you got to make sure that this is something that you would love to do, that you
Mhm.
would want to be here because you are. I mean,
Right.
that's sort of part of your life. Your life
Mhm.
becomes that environment. And I think I think I could work into that. I'm
Okay.
starting to try to get my mind a little bit
Mhm.
wrapped around the idea of, that would be your environment. That's where you would be. That's what you would be doing.
Okay. So let's go back to how you're feeling now
Mm-hmm.
about the career change.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've been on your current job for 10 years, so that's
Mm-hmm.
something that you're used to doing. So
Right.
how are your feelings now as far as you looking into resort management,
Mm-hmm.
learning all the pros about the different resorts that you looked into, the
Mm-hmm.
amenities they offer,
Mm-hmm.
and also some of the cons, like what are your feelings now? Because I know before it was something that you wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
you wanted change.
Mm-hmm.
You've been doing the same thing for so long, and
Mm-hmm.
you fell in love with